The southern region of India contributes significantly to the agriculture growth of the country. Despite suffering from several biophysical constraints and fragile agro-ecosystems, the southern region is spread across states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. The major climate vulnerabilities threatening the food and livelihood security of the rural poor are scanty and uneven distribution of rainfall, prolonged dry spells, poor recharge of shallow aquifers and floods due to high-intensity storm events. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research (ICAR) launched the National Initiative on Climate Resilient Agriculture project in 2011. The NICRA project is jointly steered by the NRM, an extension division of ICAR. The NICRA project is coordinated at the national level by the Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, Crida. The technology demonstration component is being implemented across 121 districts spread across 28 states and 1 union territory, identified based on their vulnerability to different climatic stresses such as droughts, floods, cyclones, heat and cold wave. Climate resilient interventions are implemented in 4 major modules: Natural Resource Management (NRM), Crop Production, Livestock and Fisheries, and Institutional Interventions. In the southern region, technology demonstrations were implemented through 17 Krishi Vigyan Kendras (KVKs) with the support of Agricultural Technology Application Research Institutes (ATARIs) at Hyderabad, Bangalore and State Agricultural Universities. NICRA village clusters are identified based on the climatic vulnerability and appropriate technologies were demonstrated. Scarcity of water is a perennial problem in this region which gets aggravated during deficient monsoon conditions. As part of the technology demonstration component of NICRA, location-specific soil and water conservation measures were demonstrated to reduce the impacts of prolonged dry spells and drought. Conservation furrow increased storage of moisture in soil and protected the crop against recurrent dry spells and increased the crop yields up to 25%. Runoff leads to loss of fertile topsoil from agriculture lands. Hence, the trench-cum-bunding was demonstrated to reduce soil loss, conserve runoff and to improve crop growth. On-farm water storage was promoted as a key intervention in NICRA villages. Integration of farm ponds with suitable cropping systems and micro-irrigation minimized the risk of crop failure during deficit rainfall conditions and improved crop yields up to 20%. Plastic lining of farm ponds prevented seepage loss.
போன வருஷம்லாம் தென்னம்பிள்ளை மட்டும்தான் பாஞ்சது, ஒன்றும் மகசூல் இல்லை. இந்த வருஷம் ஏதோ ஒரு 2 ஏக்கர் வெங்காயம் நட்டோம். இப்போ மாட்டுக்கு செந்தாளம் தட்டை, அந்த காய்கறி வீட்டுக்கு அதான் வச்சுருக்குறோம். இது குட்டை வச்சதுக்கு பரவாயில்லைங்க. குட்டை இல்லைன்னா இப்போ இந்த மாட்டுக்கு தீனி அது இதெல்லாம் எதுவுமே கிடையாது. அளவுக்கு பரவாயில்லைங்க.
Check dams, constructed as water storage structures, helped in groundwater recharge and increased the availability of water in nearby wells. The recharged water was used for critical irrigation during deficit rainfall conditions. This water was used for taking up second crop during normal rainfall years and enhanced cropping intensity significantly. In NICRA villages, defunct water harvesting structures were identified and desilted with farmers' participation to enhance water storage. Conserving as well as harvesting water and utilizing the water efficiently through micro-irrigation minimized the risk of crop failure and enhanced yields in horticultural and field crops significantly during prolonged dry spells and deficit rainfall conditions. Efforts under NICRA led to drought-proofing of villages and increased cropping intensity. The coastal districts of the southern region are frequently affected by cyclones and floods. Desilting of drainage channels was taken up, which reduced the duration of flooding and the impact of flooding on crops. Resilient crop interventions were introduced in this region to stabilize productivity under variable climatic stresses. Short duration and drought-escaping crop varieties were demonstrated for delayed sowing and deficit rainfall. Short duration varieties of pigeon pea, groundnut, less water requiring hybrids of castor and high-yielding varieties of foxtail millet enabled farmers to cope with shortened growing season due to late arrival of monsoon. Practice of sole cropping is predominant in rain-fed regions of southern India, but is risky and often results in low yields or crop failure due to erratic monsoon. Cotton, pigeon pea, groundnut and millets were the major crops in the scarce rainfall zones. Intercropping of these crops was more profitable and a key drought coping strategy. Soil test-based fertilizer application was demonstrated to rationalize fertilizer application and minimize greenhouse gas emissions. Crop yields are declining due to soil salinity and introduction of salt-tolerant paddy variety WGL44 yielded 10 to 15% more than the farmer's practice. Green manuring with dhencha increased yield of paddy besides reducing the cost of fertilizer use by 20%. In flood-affected regions, rice varieties such as Swarna Sub 1, MTU 1061, MTU 1064, RGL 2537 and PLA 1100 were demonstrated to cope with floods and for higher yield. Drum seeding was promoted as a contingency measure which facilitated late sowing of rice under delayed onset of monsoon. Aerobic rice cultivation with drought-tolerant variety MAS 26 was demonstrated, which helped in saving of water and reduced cost of cultivation. Zero-till maize after harvest of rice efficiently utilized residual soil moisture, saved up to 2 irrigations and reduced the cost of cultivation. In this region, livestock interventions are demonstrated for enhancing adaptation gains and imparting resilience. In rain-fed areas, small ruminants are major source of livelihoods. Hence, emphasis was given on breed upgradation by introducing breeds like Nari Suvarna, Tellicherry, etc. which enhanced meat production. Similarly, poultry breeds like Vanaraj and Rajashri enhanced the egg production at household level. Availability of fodder is a challenge in the region, especially during long dry spells and lean period. To overcome the scarcity of fodder, demonstrated round-the-year fodder production mainly sorghum, maize, lucerne and multi-cut fodder varieties. Farmers were trained on use of area-specific mineral mixtures to mitigate nutritional deficiencies, which improved reproductive health and milk yield in dairy animals. Low-cost animal housing structures were demonstrated to reduce heat stress. Misting facility was able to reduce the impact of heat stress during summer and improve productivity. Recognizing the need for establishment of enabling support systems for participatory decision-making and wider adoption of climate-resilient agriculture practices, and also build capacities at the local level, village climate risk management committees were formed. 10 to 20 villagers came together to share, support and encourage fellow farmers to adapt to the change in climatic conditions. Establishment of custom hiring centers is an innovative approach adopted under NICRA to make costly equipments affordable and accessible to small and marginal farmers and to promote climate-resilient practices for resource conservation and timeliness of farm operations. CHCs are managed by farmers themselves, and hiring charges are worked out by farmers group. Revenue from hiring is deposited in a bank account and used for repair and maintenance of machines. Rotavator, drum seeder, seed-cum-fertilizer drill, multi-crop thresher were the most popular implements in the region. A network of automatic weather station-enabled extension of climate services to farmers in the form of agro-advisories in unfolding weather situations. Small weather stations established in NICRA villages promoted climate awareness and literacy among crop and livestock farmers. Ensuring the right seed at the right time is important for enhancing resilience to climate risks. Farmer groups were encouraged to multiply seeds of varieties, particularly short duration, drought and flood-tolerant varieties at the village level for self-reliance in seed, at the local level for timely and affordable access. Fodder bank established in the village under NICRA project in an area of 10 acres with high-yielding hybrid Napier varieties APBN1, CO3 and CO4. Fodder stem cuttings were supplied to the farmers from this fodder bank in the village. The green fodder shortage was reduced significantly within 4 years of NICRA project. Women's groups came forward to manage the millet processing unit for supply of healthy flour and benefits of collective marketing for higher returns for their produce. Training programs on climate-resilient agriculture practices and technologies help to create awareness on climate-related issues among farmers and all stakeholders. These programs contributed to knowledge empowerment, skill development, decision-making on investments in agriculture and coping ability of farmers. Increasing climate variability in southern region is adversely impacting farmers' income and livelihood from agriculture. The NICRA project identified successful practices for climate resilience in agriculture in this complex, diverse and risk-prone environments. The project opened up opportunities for scaling up and scaling out of proven interventions in the region. Technology demonstrations have infused a sense of confidence among farmers to successfully combat climate variability. Based on the initial success, the NICRA project has expanded technology demonstrations for climate resilience in agriculture to 26 adjoining villages, in addition to the existing NICRA villages in the region. The NICRA project will continue to endeavor to enhance the adaptive capacity of farmers and resilience of farming in the fragile and stressed agro-ecosystems of the arid and semi-arid regions.